The following story was written by Jojo S. Jojo is 10 years old and attends Nobleboro Central School. Enjoy!
Have you ever wanted to be anywhere else but where you are? Well, this is exactly what was happening to a little fifth grader, Parker Colwell. He had just embarrassed himself in front of the whole school, and it was completely his brother's fault. Okay, so you probably want to know how all this happened. So one normal Tuesday, Parker was sitting at his desk in class when the principal called his name over the loudspeakers. He nervously walked down to the principal's office. His heart was racing. His hands were shaking. He walked through the door marked Principal Brown's office. Principal Brown gestured for Parker to sit in the chair in front of his desk. Parker was relieved when Principal Brown slid a paper in front of him that said, "State Essay Contest. Write an essay explaining why we should choose your school to be featured in our movie."
Me?
Parker said, confused but intrigued.
Yes.
Principal Brown answered.
I chose you because you're the only student in your grade who I can trust with the responsibility, if you're willing to take on the challenge.
Of course I will.
Parker exclaimed.
Great. It's due in 1 month, Wednesday, March 29th. You may return to class.
Thank you, Principal Brown.
Parker said excitedly as he got up and went to open the door. Parker walked back to class thinking of what he could write his essay. Through the rest of the day, Parker couldn't think of anything but the essay and how he would be representing the whole school. I have to make this perfect for Principal Brown. I can't let him down.
Parker. What?
Parker asked, realizing it was his best friend, Alice.
You're gonna miss the bus.
Alice exclaimed.
Come on, let's go.
Parker got up and they left the room. As Parker and Alice were walking out to the bus, Alice remembered the question she was going to ask Parker back in class.
Hey, Parker.
Yeah?
Why did Principal Brown call you up to the office? You're not in trouble, are you?
Well, the principal asked me if I wanted to write an essay about why our school should be chosen for a movie.
Really? What did you say?
I said I would do it.
Great.
Sat down in the fourth row of the bus, and for the rest of the bus ride, they talked about what Parker should write. When Parker got off the bus, he ran to his house, went up to his room, and started typing out his essay. Did you know that Newton Elementary has great teachers and cooperative smart students? That's just one of the reasons you should choose us for your movie. ... Over the next 4 weeks, Parker came home every day and typed 2 paragraphs of his essay. Finally, after 3.5 weeks of typing, he turned his essay in to Principal Brown. And when Principal Brown saw it, he was impressed. He printed a backup copy and then said,
You know what, Parker? Why don't you take his extra time to start practicing reading your essay aloud to share with the whole school? You can use this copy to help yourself feel a little more comfortable about your essay, if you're okay with it.
Sure,
Parker said nervously.
I guess I will.
Thanks!
Principal Brown said excitedly as he handed Parker the extra copy of his essay. That afternoon after school, Parker started practicing his essay. He felt ready, and on Wednesday morning, he was going to share his paper with the whole school. Little did he know, his older brother switched out the paper with a special one of his own. When Parker walked through the doors to school, the principal was waiting for him on the other side. Principal Brown told him to go and wait in the gymnasium while he called a special assembly over the loudspeakers. When Parker walked into the gym, there was a podium where he could stand, and there was a little slanted desk for him to put his essay on. He went up and set up everything he needed, but didn't quite pay enough attention to notice that it was not his essay lying in front of him. Then, the rest of the students in the school walked through the gym doors. Parker felt a sudden burst of confidence blow up inside of him.
I can do this. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Principal Brown gave him the signal to start reading his essay aloud, and he did just that.
Did you know that our school has 2 or 3 food fights a week?
Parker recited, not paying attention to what he was reading.
Wait,
He exclaimed as the whole student body of Newton Elementary stared at him in shock.
that's not right. I didn't read that.
Oh no!
Alice exclaimed from the bleachers. Now we're back to where we left off.
I'm very disappointed in you, Parker.
Principal Brown said firmly.
I trusted you with a simple task, but clearly you couldn't handle it.
But I didn't do it.
Parker said, on the verge of crying.
Then who did?
Principal Brown asked. A tear rolled down Parker's cheek.
I don't know.
Parker had a moment of realization.
Unless it was my brother Teddy.
Parker wiped his eyes and asked,
Principal Brown, can you please call the high school and ask them to put Teddy Caldwell on the phone?
If it will give us the solution to this, then I'm all for it.
Thank you, Principal Brown.
Parker rushed up to the principal's office. He waited for Principal Brown to make the call, and then he took over when Teddy was on the phone.
Teddy?
Parker asked.
Yes?
Teddy responded.
No.
Come on, Teddy, don't lie.
Fine, I'm sorry, I did. I thought it'd be funny, but I didn't realize you were such a good detective.
Thanks, Teddy. Bye.
Parker hung up and turned to Principal Brown.
I would never lie or do anything like what my brother Teddy does. You can trust me.
Thank you, Parker. I knew you were a good kid.
No, thank you, Principal Brown, for believing in me and giving me this amazing opportunity.